has lifted off the ground with featured speakers, Dale Smith and Johnny Hillis. And give our youth leader, Rick Rambo, a.k.a. Rick Rollison, a warm welcome!
Hey, I'll tell you something right now. None of this, I had nothing to do with anything that happened tonight. Everything that goes on tonight is the work of the youth. So, y'all don't blame me for anything. In all honesty, it's really cool to watch them get excited about this stuff because I am not doing any of this. Okay, all they do is say, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? I'm like, go for it. You know, have yourself a ball. The more you enjoy it, the more you're going to want to do it. But I have a few different things that I'm going to announce, and then we're going to basically turn it over to them. You're not going to see a whole lot of me, praise the Lord. Amen. I don't blame you on that one. But I have a few things I want to go over real quick. The trailer, Pastor Cole, it's scheduled to be here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Okay, Alicia's going to meet them up here. All right, if you can, that's fine. You know, whatever. But the trailer's going to be here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. We'll figure out where to put it. We can go over that tonight if you want. You can figure out where you want to put it. But anybody who has anything that they want to donate to the people of all the tornadoes, they're taking a trailer load out there. It's probably going to be here till what, Wednesday or Thursday?
I think it's Wednesday by noon, I think.
Okay, Wednesday at noon, they're going to take it out of here. So if you've got anything you want to donate, they'll take any items, anything. Okay, because, I mean, you're talking pounds are gone. They'll take anything from construction material to appliances, to clothing, to bottled water, to canned food, whatever. Anything you can bring, if you've got anything you want to give, the trailer will be open all day long. All right, we'll probably come down around 8:30 or so in the evening, so we'll lock it up. So it's left locked up overnight. Then we'll have it opened up the following morning because I'll be here at school anyway, so it'll be opened up bright and early. Okay, so that'll be here tomorrow. Now we've got another thing we're going to be doing, and it's going to be in the month of September. Okay, it's the teen banquet. We've had some of the teens come to me and come to different parents and say, you know, they're kind of bummed out because all the public school kids, they get to do like the May dance and all that kind of stuff. They're not really looking to dance. They want to get dressed up. The boys, they want to shoot themselves. Okay, the girls, they want to get decked out. Okay, because Josh is like, oh, can we just play Russian roulette? You know, I'm like, no, you're going to get dressed up. But the girls are already getting excited about it, so I'm announcing that. So any teens from anywhere around here, the youth groups, are more than welcome to come. Okay, Pastor Rob, some of your girls already, or your girl already knows about it. Kira's aware of it. I don't know if she had a chance to talk to you yet because we talked about it last night. I announced it. Okay, so anyway, we're going to do that for the girls. The girls all want to get together, and they're all going to get with the mamas and all go together to buy nice, pretty dresses. So we've got some time for moms and dads to come up with a little bit of money to buy them a nice little dress that they can get fancied up in. I'm not sure where we're going to have the dinner yet, but it's going to be classy. I'm going to make sure we make it classy, and they have a lot of fun. All right? Youth conference. All right? Anybody that's going to youth conference, I need email addresses. They're doing it differently. Everybody's individual, right, Pastor Cole? Okay, I've got to have just names, addresses. Name and email. Okay, if you don't have an email address, then you need to let me know so we can figure out what we're going to do from there. Okay, now, another thing. I always have a lot of things to do now. Car wash. Our next scheduled one is the 18th. It's the third Saturday of the month of June. It'll be the third Saturday. That's tentative right now. Hopefully the weather will hold. I like to do it on the third Saturday because if all else fails, hopefully we can do it the following Saturday and we still get one in that month. We've got 2 left to go to get before youth conference. And everyone that participates in the car washes will more than likely, with the help of the sub-sale, be paid for easily when it comes to youth conference. Okay, there shouldn't be any problem with them getting there. Last but not least, we want to do a little something. I don't know, we don't have a lot of veterans in here. I realize that. But we do want to acknowledge the veterans of our country. The teens, Scott himself actually made this for the veterans. Okay, and he did it all. I didn't touch any of it other than put my little IDOD on the inside. Okay? Now the teens, everyone has signed it, all the young people have signed it, and they'll tell you that I'm very adamant about supporting our troops and backing our veterans and how important that is to this country. And I try to always reinforce to them the importance of history because they're always saying how boring history is. So, well, you ask any of those that served in make them understand how important it is. So we'd like to acknowledge any veterans that we have here tonight. I know we have Mr. Schreffer. Anyone else here a veteran at all? No veterans here other than, well, you're the lucky one tonight. Okay, I would like everybody to give him just a round of applause. Okay, now Scott made these, and Mr. Schreffer, all the young people have signed it. So it's for you, and we thank you really, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for your service to our country. We're grateful that so many men and women are willing to serve this nation, because they really don't have to do that. And if you look at this nation, you know, I was throwing some statistics at the kids this morning about the Vietnam War, how all the different myths about the Vietnam War, about how, you know, the veterans of the Vietnam War were the dumbest people that we ever had. They had poor educations. You look at the records, and the Vietnam veterans were the highest educated army that we've ever put forth. Okay, the highest educated army we've ever put forth is the Vietnam veterans. Okay, so everybody always tried to say they were the dope heads and the druggies and the hippies and all that. That's not true. All right, they had a higher education than any armed force that we've ever put over into war. The Vietnam veterans. There's so many myths about the Vietnam veterans. I could go on forever. Okay, it's unbelievable the garbage that was put out about them. All right, and they were a tremendous fighting force. And it also, another statistic that most people don't understand and don't realize, 2/3 of the men who fought in the Vietnam War were volunteers. 2/3 of the men who were in the Vietnam War were volunteers. They weren't drafted. Okay, all right, I'm going to get away from that. I'm going to have the choir's going to come in now. They're going to sing a song for you, and we'll go from there. Okay, we're going to have a song. I'll sing a couple different songs here. We got different folks that are going to be singing it, but this one song that we've got 4 of our young people singing it, plus 2 other up-and-coming teens. And it impressed me so much when I heard this song the other day. I thought this would be an awesome song to sing tonight for all of you folks that did not hear it. I know a lot of you heard it, but a lot of you didn't. So you 6 come up here, okay, Jess? I want y'all to nail this thing. Y'all nailed it the other day, and I was ready to jump out of my skin. Okay? So I want y'all to nail this thing. Y'all come on up.
Depression, let's end on the solid. we give you a Padawan raised on the planet of Mos Eisley by Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Dale Smith.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Okay, let's turn our Bibles to Hebrews 11:1. Okay, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Now that song that my sister and Caitlin, and my sister and Jessica sang, didn't that just sound like that?
Amen.
Now, what is I want to get 4 points across to you. Now, my first point, what is faith? Now, let's read Hebrews 11:7. By faith, Noah, being warned of God of these things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. Now, Noah didn't even know what rain was, and that took a lot of faith, because again, he didn't even know what faith was, and you got to remember how all the people mocked him for like I think 100 years, but he still took faith, and by fear he made an ark. Now, how do you get faith? Well, Romans 10:17. Okay, Romans 10:17 talks about getting faith by hearing the word of God and by prayer. And who here has went through troubled times? Because I know I have, because I lost my mom. And it says, and faith will increase when you're going through hard times, and God will increase you by answered prayer. But now, turn your Bibles to 2 Peter 1:5-7. Okay. And
Okay, I'm going to send you a special note. No. You guys do not like what you hear. I'm just saying that. About music, I just aren't any good at it. Okay, I can chalk up the first mistake to me tonight. I forgot to raise the mic so that it could actually be heard in the choir. Hey, what are you going to do?
Can I request a song, too?
No, ma'am.
I'm leaving on a jet plane.
No, ma'am.
Well, my bags are packed.
No, ma'am.
Oh,
Y'all have to understand, too. Dale did awesome up here.
Amen.
He really did. I've said it before, if you've never been up in a situation like this, you have no idea how hard it can be. And for a young man, it can be even more difficult. I am so proud of these young people. We got a few more specials coming up here, and the ensemble's going to come up. You ready there, Dale? You got your whistle wet?
Community job.
We got a few more songs. I do apologize for not getting the mics up. That was my fault. We got some kinks to get out of this, but it's going to get better and better. We got all kinds of great ideas, and these kids are coming up with more and more every day. It is so cool to watch them. All right, are we now ready? I mean, I know I can talk and make a lot of noise. All right, but I'm now ready to start this thing. Okay, are we now ready? All right, now we have the ensemble come up.
See
tell you what, if the Lord's never touched you, tonight's a good night to get touched. I'll tell you, it amazes me. We go to youth conference every year, and it's for like 4 days, and I've heard so many of this and so much of that, from different people, but I'll tell you what, it's a great time for these young people. It's a chance for them to get a closer walk with God, and I sit here and I listen to them sing these songs, and I see them preach, and I think, you know what, this is awesome, okay? And what they get from youth conferences 10 times as much, because they've got 4 days of some of the best preachers you've ever heard in your life. Why do you think these young men get called to preach? Okay? It isn't because of me, I can tell you that right now. It's because of godly men that stand up, and they see that in them. And they hear them preach, and they think, you know what, God wants me to do that. I want to be like them. If they got to follow somebody, let them follow men like that. Okay? I mean, you want them to follow these worldly people, have at it. It's not where I want my kids going. Okay? It just isn't. But anyway, we wouldn't be a Baptist church if we didn't take up an offering. Okay? So we're going to take up an offering tonight. Not you and Chris will come up here, and we'll let y'all take up the offering. And I've also requested another song. My daughter is just now starting to do solos, and she's not real impressed with it. But I'll tell you something. I am just tickled pink. I am a very proud father. I'm proud of all these young people when they get up here and sing, but when it's your own child, every one of y'all that have your children sing know what I'm talking about. Okay? And I just, boy, to hear these young people praise God is just so awesome. I can never get enough of it. And anyway, she's going to come up here and sing for us as we take up the offering. But I'm going to have Chris, want to have you pray for the offering, and Jessica, I'm going to have you come up. Chris, go ahead and pray for it.
give you a Jedi converted from the dark side at the age of 14, Johnny Harris.
Alright, before I get started, I'm just going to tell you ahead of time. This message, anybody can apply it, but mainly tonight I'm going to be talking to my youth group because I really care for my youth group. I believe that if we apply what I'm going to be teaching, we can do something. Wow, this isn't that true. Let me loose. Alright. So with that said, turn to James chapter 4. James chapter 4, verse 14. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? Is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, then vanisheth away. Let's pray. Dear Father, in the praise tonight, I ask you to please bless what I have to say. Please help us to apply it. Everything we said, we to honor and glorify you. In the very name. The entire message that teaches the value of life. It compares it to a vapor, the puff of smoke. The average lifespan is a little bit over 70 years. That's what the Bible says. And I think it's time for many of us to wake up and say, hey, what's my life going to be about? When you compare 70 years to eternity, the best way I can describe it is it's like a little grain of sand in an hourglass. With that said, you don't have long to change. Or you get down to 70, 80 years of age and lying on your deathbed, are you going to say, I wish I had given more? You just got to think of that. It's sad. He gives you 70 years, and many of us, I'm 18 and I can say I have basically done nothing for Christ. I'm looking back and I say I have a lot of regrets about that. I sat 12, 13 years of age in youth group and said, oh, I have plenty of time to serve Christ before, I go off to college, 18. That's so along the way. Now I'm 18. At the end of August, I'm going off to Bible college. It went 5. That quick. I don't want to hear any of you say, I wish that I did more. I want to hear you say, I'm glad that I did. And I think Joshua demonstrated this best in Joshua 24, verse 15. Put it over there. And if seeming evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve. Whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. And listen to this phrase, that as for me and my house, will serve the Lord.
Amen.
It's time for us to realize, hey, we need to get busy about serving God. So with that said, I'm just going to give you a couple points of what our life should be all about. Number one, I think this is the most important. runs through the back. He says, Father, I've got the blood.
Amen.
And when you accept Christ, that blood's applied. And Christ slams that gavel down, and he says, you're redeemed. You're Christ.
That's good.
But many of us, we sit down and we'll say, so what? I'm going to do my own thing. Let me tell you something. You decide to do your own thing instead of God's will for your life. You may not realize it's a mistake till it's too late. I had the privilege of studying the Revelations and church history. And it sort of took us through like the history of the church age. And we came across one of the things called the New Evangelical movement. And that's one of the things that totally killed revival in our churches. It started around the 1950s. And they had a good goal. Evangelize America. I mean, evangelize the world for Christ. Guess what they decided to do the wrong way? They decided to do their own thing. It was a do your own thing Christianity. Harold Offengate, the man who coined the term New Evangelical, said that New Evangelicalism has changed its strategy from one of separation to one of infiltration. One of their main pushes to evangelize America, North America, and the world was called Q73. It was placed in 1973. It offered a do-your-own-thing evangelism. The four main principles of Q73 were do your own thing, your way. Do your own thing, but share. Do your own thing simultaneously. Do your own thing together. What could be more unscriptural than do your own thing and then call it evangelism? What was the ultimate outcome of this? Richard Clevedo wrote this book, The World of Evangelicals, that the young New Evangelicals. This book was written in 1973, I believe it was. So this was just one generation after the New Evangelical movement started. He said, there's no reason. He said this is young New Evangelicals at that time. Said there's no reason why rock music itself cannot function as a legitimate expression of happiness. That social dancing is not evil. That drinking in moderation is biblical. And this next quote literally made me sick when I read it. It said, if homosexual practice is intended to express love as part of an ongoing permanent relationship, it is morally good. I wanted to vomit when I said that. Whenever I read that, it's like, well, like I said earlier, if you decide to step out and do your own thing instead of God's thing, the way that He said that you're supposed to serve Him, your foot might land on a man field, and you'll slide down in the mud pool, and then you'll one man that was sort of sitting over by himself listening, he was like, whoa, that's a little different. Never seen that before. So once the man that changed the conversation, just by walking in, whenever he left, he went over to those men, he said, who was that guy that totally changed your conversation when you walked in the room? He said, you don't know who that guy is? His name's D.L. Moody, he's pastor at the old Baptist church down the street. And again, I asked that question. What do people say or do when you walk into the room?
Oh, good man.
Would there be a group of teenagers that were here that, you know, they're telling us dirty jokes and that sort of stuff? If you walked in the room, would they stop? Or would they say, hey, come over here, you like this? I mean, God only accepts holiness. And the friends that you hang around are maybe the ones that influence you most.
Right.
That's why
Come on.
good,
Good. Heart there.
good, holy friends. I want our youth group to be holy.
Come on.
I'm preaching to myself, too. It's time we start taking holiness serious. My last point, which I already guessed it. Your life should be one of service and sacrifice. Look at the verse. It said, I beseech you, brother, by the mercy of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. Holy and acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. It's only right that you should desire to serve God. However, if you step out and decide to serve God, there may be some people that may be family members or really close friends. They may look at you and say, "That's lost your mind." What are you doing? You could go out and earn a lot of money, get all the fame. What are you doing? Wasting your time serving God. And your one answer may only be, it's just reasonable. The following story is one that I believe sort of somewhat demonstrates this point. Story time again. One of my favorites. The evangelist Charles F. Weigel spent most of his life as an evangelist and gospel songwriter. He had a wife that was from a fairly well-to-do family. One time when they was off on an evangelistic campaign, she went and visited her family. After visiting, she came home and decided she was disgusted with doing it without because she was the wife of an evangelist. She left her husband a goodbye note and took off. Returning home from his evangelistic crusade, Charles Weigel found a note left by his wife. The note said, Dear Charlie, I've been a fool for Jesus. I've determined that with the rest of my life to try and get all that the world owes me. I know that you will be for Jesus. Goodbye, Charlie. He later said that he said he became so despondent during the next several years that there are times when he contemplated suicide. He even wondered if anybody really cared for him. But after a time, his faith was again restored. He became active for the Lord again. Soon he felt compelled to write a song that would be a summary of his past tragic experience. From a heart that was broken came the words that God gave to comfort him. First verse says, I would love to tell you what I think of Jesus, since I found in him a friend so strong and true. Amen. I would tell you how he changed my life completely. He did something that no other friend could do. No one ever cared for 6 and 7, but ye shall be named the priests of the Lord, and men shall call you the ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, in your glory shall ye boast yourselves. For your shame ye shall have double. Like I said, I took the Revelation in church history course. We also studied missionaries. You know, sometimes you hear a quote or read a quote and you say, oh, that's a pretty quote. Oh, listen to this quote. It says, he is no fool who gives up what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. That was in my Revelation course. I sort of looked at that and I think that's pretty neat. Then I read on who said it. Does anybody here know who said it? Mm-hmm. Who's here's heard of it in LA? How about Nate Saint? Jim Elliot and Nate Saint were missionaries to Yauch Indians in Ecuador. This was 1953, somewhere around there. They were speared to death trying to reach them. He was a man that not only said that quote, and he believed it. He believed every word of that. He is no fool that gives up what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. I sort of looked at that and said, hey, sacrifice isn't really a sacrifice in the end. If you sacrifice to serve God, it's going to be worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Turn back to James chapter 4. I want you to look at that verse one more time. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow, what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, then vanisheth away. It's time for us to realize, wake up and say, hey, what's our life should be all about? It should be Christ. It should be holy. You want to serve as a sacrifice. What is your life? That was very good. I think we need to have an invitation. I think that was very good. I'm very impressed by the truth there and the presentation of it. All the young people did a great job singing. Dale did a great job getting his point across. Very good job. Johnny, that was excellent. And you drove a point home as few people could. And let's stand up. Play something if you would, please, Jessica. And I know that it spoke to my heart. I know that other people here spoke to their heart. Please, use the altar tonight. Just take a moment and respond to the See for just a minute. I got a couple quick things to run by. First of all, I was talking to a doctor about a year ago. I was talking to a doctor, and she was telling me about a woman that was in her mid-50s. And this woman had come to her. She was from Guatemala, spoke Spanish and English, and she said that she was actually a missionary to South America, Ecuador. And so you may know something about geography there. And she went on to say that find a finer book written by someone. And it's interesting that doctor was my sister. That lady was sitting right in my sister's office telling her the story. She had seen those missionary men before they were killed. When she was a little girl, she remembered them. Interesting story. Johnny, did a great story. Getting the point across there. I do appreciate that. And you did a great job, Bill. And it was a great service. Well, it was really good. And I'm glad that folks came on out tonight. And we had youth meetings back when I went to some when I was very young. I was in it for maybe a year or so in my junior high year. There was nothing, I didn't stay through my junior high or high school years. Obviously, there's nothing to keep me there. I mean, I could stay there and have the same kind of fun as I was having at school or out with other friends. There was nothing different. So this thing about neo-evangelicism, or whatever you call it, no difference. It didn't keep me in church. And it was a Baptist church, American Baptist church. And when I finally heard someone who really believed the Bible and preached from the Bible, wow, that's different. I was a young adult.
Amen.
And we were married a little bit over about a year, not even a year and a half when we first went to hear. The first time I heard in person a fundamental Baptist preacher. And first time. And I attribute that to the success that Patty and I have experienced in our marriage and any success in Christian living or rearing our children or anything is because we got in church, we stayed in church, we bought into it.
Amen.
We got into it, we bought into it. I wish I had done it when I was this age. I had an opportunity to, but there was nothing to buy into. There was nothing different from the youth group that I went to than what I had at junior high or at junior or high school. There was no difference. You said, but they had partying in high school. I had a deacon's son pick me up. And I jumped in the car. When I got inside that car, he had his dad was one of 5 brothers. All those men all went to our church, were deacons and Sunday school teachers. I got inside this car. There was a pack of cool cigarettes laying on the dashboard. We went out, bought some pizza and adult beverage. He was a deacon's son. Then we went over to another friend of ours' house he was a deacon in the church, and we sat on his porch while he wasn't there, but his wife was there, his wife, the deacon's wife, and she was there. We were eating pizza and consuming adult beverages on her porch. And it really, now, I hadn't been in church in a while. At this time, I hadn't been in church in a couple of years. It had changed, but a lot more than what I realized. I was really, truly disillusioned with Christianity. You have to understand, there's no excuse. I had no excuse. No excuse. I assumed full responsibility for anything I do. That kid did not make me do anything different than what.
Right.
But I just know that I looked at that. That's why when I heard someone on a tape, and my sister said, "You got to hear this guy. Just listen to. Never listen to something on a preaching tape. You know, that's for Led Zeppelin and Boston and stuff. I didn't even listen to the preacher. I popped that thing in.
Amen.
Wow. I said. The first thing I said was, I want to go hear someone like that. I listened to Jack Hiles, and then she had John Wright, and she had Ed Gibson was her pastor. And that man, who pastored a church in Maranatha Baptist Church in Okinawa, the Air Force Base in Okinawa, I knew of at least 12 men at Hiles-Anderson College, the college I went to at that time, that were in college from halfway around the world. That's the kind of effect he had. That's the kind of Christianity that we heard. That type of preaching. Preaching is what changes lives.
Right,
It molds lives and it affects lives. And it gives these young people a hunger and a desire. Boy, I tell you what, if you ever get disillusioned or you want to back out of church or get backslid on God, and you look at these young people, you're a fool. You're a fool.
Right.
Number one, you're a fool because that's a bad example. Number two, if that's your kids, and you want to take your kids, look, there may be better churches around. I don't know. All I do know is these kids are catching something. The proof is in the pudding.
Right.
You may not like the flavor of the pudding, just, I said, man, we got to do something special for tonight. So I called my right-hand man, Russ. I said, Russ, can you pick up a couple of buckets of ice cream on the way into church tonight? Because I thought I wouldn't have time, you know. So we got some ice cream, and in fact, Patty, can you go get it out? It's sitting back there, and it's in the freezer. Yeah. And just pull them out here, and maybe just put it right out here. We'll just scoop it out right out here. And there's stacks of bowls over there. And so anyways, but let me pray, and then we'll get that stuff out and have a good time. Stick around, talk a few minutes, and but get some ice cream. We got some, I think some Napoleon ice cream, Neapolitan, and some. Oh man, this ice cream will change your life. Let's have a word of prayer. Let's pray. Father, thank you so much for the experience tonight, just being here. Young people did a great job, and we have some young people here that have a real heart for God, for you, for Jesus Christ. And Lord, we do appreciate the fact that you're working in their hearts. We see it, but there's something there that you do see, and we appreciate that. I pray. In fact, some of this stuff it provokes me. Unto good works and to do more for you. When I see the young people like this, what a great group of young people, and the parents must be proud of them. We do pray you bless them. Just the rest of the evening, have a little bit of ice cream here, bless our bodies, if we are supposed to pray for that. It is ice cream, Lord. But thank you for the ice cream. Give us all a safe trip back home tonight. Bless the folks with their activities tomorrow. In Jesus' name, amen.